Okay, hey guys, how you doing out there? This is our topic of the week. It is Darren and Joe with Urban Hillsides Real Estate and LA Real Estate Reality. Darren, you picked out something really interesting, and you just mentioned it. I think it's a great way to kick it off. This is a program not just for high-priced housing for, you know, wealthy buyers. This is really something that will help first-time home buyers and people maybe a little more in the middle. Let's put it that way, right? In terms of being a consumer looking for a place. Um, this subject I titled ADU Financing Breakthrough. Sounds catchy, but why don't you just go ahead and give a quick definition of it, and then I'll go into the LA Times article that we found.
Sure, absolutely. You're correct. Most housing, one of the complaints about just more housing ends up being everything new builds is so expensive.
Right.
And this is providing financing for ADU, which is accessory dwelling units, where it is a multi-unit situation, right? There's a primary structure, and you've now built an accessory dwelling unit. And one of the articles we did previously was talking about how you can a state law that now allows you to sell those elements separately, which was a breakthrough in its own. But now the supportive components are coming into place where you can now finance it, and the backdrop is being set up there to allow that.
Yeah. Very, very exciting stuff. Let me go ahead and do the short article. I'll just read it. Let me put it on the screen here. So we found this good for LA Times on latimes.com. Uh, Let me go ahead and share this real quick. Okay. So a new federal policy allows you to finance for an ADU, what you need to know. In an effort to address the nation's affordable housing crisis, the Federal Housing Administration announced a new policy Monday that will make it easier to buy or refinance a house with an accessory dwelling unit or build a new ADU. Previous rules for FHA-backed loans would allow lenders to consider rental income from duplexes, but not ADUs. Under the new policy, lenders will be allowed to count income from small housing units built inside, attached to, or on the same property as a primary residence when underwriting a mortgage. It will specifically allow for 75% of the estimated ADU rental income for some borrowers to qualify for an FHA-insured mortgage on a property with an existing ADU. It will also allow the use of 50% of the estimated rental income from a new ADU the borrower plans to attach to an existing structure, such as a garage or basement conversion, to qualify for a mortgage under FHA's renovation loans, also known as 203K, Rehabilitation Mortgage Insurance Program. And then it goes on. What's also new with this policy is that lenders will be able to consider projected income, whether it's a buyer who is interested in purchasing a home with an unoccupied ADU or a homeowner who wants to construct an ADU, said FHA Commissioner Julia Gordon. I think that is in some ways the most interesting aspect of our program, because of course one of the reasons we're making this policy change is to help more borrowers qualify for home ownership, and counting rental income is one way to do that, Gordon said. The other big goal of the new policy is to help increase housing supply by bringing new units onto the market, and that is why we thought it was so important to try to count a portion of that projected income, even though it's something that isn't tangible yet, she said. In addition, this new policy is intended to create more wealth building potential for first-time homebuyers, seniors, and intergenerationally through home ownership. The FHA doesn't lend money direct to the prospective or current homeowners. Rather, it provides guarantees for loans issued by banks, which encourages lenders to make loans to households or communities that might otherwise not be reached. The guarantees are available only for loans that stay within the claim limits set by the FHA. There are no other eligibility requirements having to do with who the buyer is, Gordon said. If a prospective homebuyer wants to learn more about the policy or whether they are eligible, Gordon encourages first-time homebuyers to talk with a housing and urban development certified housing counselor. So there it is in a nutshell. Just look it up on latimes.com. I'm sure it'll pop up. So what do you say about that, Darren?
So that's even more, right? We covered one element of financing for
Yeah.
an ADU. And this navigates into two additional categories. The first
Yeah.
category is what we have been speaking about for quite some time, and that is the segue into home ownership can be through small multi-units.
Right.
And it's learning about how to be a landlord and finding comfort with that, but it definitely makes it more affordable to do so. Uh,
Yep.
Really, it's something that so many should consider. The second element, which only knew of once I read this article, is can be
Mm.
even more exciting, but there are some limitations. So I want to be realistic about it. And that
Yeah.
is the 203K refinancing loan. So 203Ks became available.
Yep.
Well, maybe they were available before, they were just never used. So they were definitely talked about a lot and used a bit when there was a housing downturn, right? Another tool to help people get into a house.
Right.
Whereas it had to be a cash purchase, and really it was an arena that only people with a lot of money could do anything with. They were the only ones who could
Right.
afford to buy those houses. You introduce a 203K loan, now somebody that may only qualify for cash can come in and buy a house that's distressed because
Right.
they know you're going to be remodeling and that's part of your loan. And that's, you discuss that in advance and it's packaged into your loan. You pay your initial loan, and then as you take disbursements for the construction or repairs, you start
Mm.
paying on that segment of the loan. Then the whole loan resets when the repairs are completed. Now you have a single loan. Very
Mm.
exciting product, uh,
Yep.
and opens up a lot of possibilities. But there is a but. The limitation is competition, and that's
Right.
really it. And that's why we didn't
Always.
do a lot of 203K loans in our side of town in the areas we cover. If there's high competition, there will still be people coming in that don't have to navigate a 203K process, which is both longer and
Yep.
could be more obstacles to overcome. And if you
Yeah.
have somebody that can do it shorter with fewer obstacles, the
You're gonna
reality is the
choose.
seller's going to choose that option.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
but for a 203K on a future build for an ADU, wow,
Right.
you're buying a
Right.
single family. There's no distress in
Yeah.
the house. So I'd be curious to
Yeah.
see how quickly they can process that. And I don't know that answer. It's a new product, which means it probably has a
Yeah.
little lag already.
Right.
But worth looking into this because if you can get a quick estimate for construction of an ADU and then determine what the rent will be that it can collect, um,
Wow.
then maybe there won't be a huge delay in getting your loan. It's
Right.
not, maybe. So
Yeah.
exciting product. Will it work in our side of town? Maybe in some cases. Maybe it'll be in fringe areas. Um, it definitely works if there's lesser competition because that's the deterrent, really. Other than that, it's a
Yeah.
fantastic product.
Yeah. Well, great. I think we've been bringing some good news for buyers, first-time buyers, in terms of units now, 5% down, and now this possibility. And not only is this helping first-time buyers, but it's helping present owners, which is amazing for refinancing and all sorts of stuff. So, great. Well, look, guys, that's it. We're at 8 minutes 54 seconds, so we actually hit our mark today, Darren. Guys, have a great week. We'll speak with you later. If you need anything, we're here for you. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.